Well, good afternoon, Timothy, and how are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I am doing just fine for a Friday, or should I say, as a Friday.
Right, yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
I am looking forward to this weekend, but I don't want to take too much of your time. So we're going to jump right in. And welcome to Entrepreneur Highlights, where we highlight businesses and just let the audience know about products and services that you provide. So, first of all, I want to start off by asking you the name of your business.
The name of my business is All In Care Homes, ALLINN Care Homes.
Okay, great. And what type of products and services you provide to your customers?
I provide assistance with daily living.
Oh,
It's pretty much a personal care home that offers assistance with daily activities for the elderly and the disabled. And that includes anything from meals, nutrition management, diet, exercise activities, medication management, transportation, you name it. So anything that has to do with daily living activities for those who are elderly or disabled, we your people.
okay. So I do know a lot of people that can use that service not only on a personal level, but even in multiple cities. We have there's senior programs out there, and some people may not even know about this service that you provide. So I am glad we're having this forum, this platform to use to kind of highlight what businesses are doing because that is very much needed in today's world. So yes, that is awesome. So how long have you been in this profession or in how long have you had this particular business?
That's a tricky question because I started. Okay, well, let me go. I started the business back in 2021. I want to say. I
Okay.
started it back in 2020, the end of 2020, going into 2021. And I kind of like had to do the groundwork as far as getting the finances to fund it, um,
Hmm.
starting the paperwork, the LLCs, registering with the Secretary of State, getting the tax information, the EIN numbers, and all of the groundwork that you usually do to form a business. And then after that aspect was kind of finished, I went to the actual requirements for the industry. So, there's code that you have to pass, there's inspection,
Correct.
fire, water, they have to make sure that the house is up to state standards and everything like that. And then and that took about a year, I want to say. So that process of me
Wow.
starting yeah, it took about a year. And yeah, I got my license last June.
Okay.
I got my first few clients and it's been good ever since.
Wow, that's great. And I'm glad you got through that process successfully because I know it can be very challenging dealing with multiple organizations, just trying to make it all happen. So I want to ask who is your targeted audience or customer base? I definitely know it's seniors, but is
Mhm.
anybody else included in that?
Well, yeah, it's kind of, well, it's not a wide range. Well, let me just start by saying, like, for just talking to people who are maybe trying to get into it or just want to know a little bit more about it. It's a big demographic. So,
Mhm.
a target audience is kind of very important if you want to get into this business. You can deal with the elderly, you can deal with the mentally disabled, physically
Right.
disabled. You have, and then even within those, there's different levels. So you got high risk, low risk, severe mental, chronic
Mhm.
illnesses, with autism, ADHD, things of that nature. So, and then, it's the age range. So are you
Right.
younger folks? Are you dealing with older people, middle age? But me in particular, I try to stay in that older range,
Mhm.
40s, 50s going into those later years. And if they have like a physical disability where they're blind or they're paraplegic, quadriplegic, whatever the case may be, immobile, non-ambulatory, that type of nature. But I do have a client that she's elderly, she suffers from schizophrenia, but it's not a severe case, so I took her on as well. So it's kind of a mix, but
Right.
for me personally, I find that the elderly and those with like mild cases of mental disabilities is manageable, especially me being new to it. You know,
Yeah.
and I want to bite off more than I can chew. So,
And I'm glad you broke that down because, at first I was thinking just seniors, but then I'm
right,
like, as you were speaking, I'm like, there's a lot of
yeah,
people
yeah.
that you can reach, and there's a lot of people that need this service outside of just being a senior, so I'm glad you were able to break that down. So what made you choose this type of business or this industry?
Oh, that's a journey right there. So so it was kind of a process. It started with my home, and I
Mhm.
always told myself that I wanted to do something with my house instead of, just getting a 30-year bid and paying on a mortgage for 30 years and just using this. I wanted to turn this house from a liability into an asset, right?
Right.
That was the primary objective. And I'm like, okay, well, how can I do that? People say, okay, you buy, you flip, you can buy, fix it up, sell, you can come and put it on Section 8, rent it out, do all these Airbnb, all these type of things. And I was like, okay, well, let me try to just look at my options. And I came across this, and I have a friend back home in Miami. He has two of them, and he's been in
Wow.
the industry for a while. And down in my mama house, dude just started one like literally right up the street. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can go in this direction. I'm seeing things kind of line up, did some more research. And I kind of came from an approach to where I wanted to incorporate like a mental wellness therapy aspect in it.
Correct.
But as I went along, I'm like, okay, well, that might be something that's a little bit different because you're talking about personal care home, like that's just care services. So
Mhm.
you're dealing with mental wellness and therapy and things of that nature, it's a
Mhm.
little bit more like community center based, right?
Right. Right.
So I was like, okay, maybe I can test a little bit of my, therapies out and my curriculum out on, my clients, but for the most part, it just kind of swung into the care of it. And then
Mhm.
I thought about how my grandma used to be when she was
Yes.
sick and she was on dialysis for years. And I remember the people coming, picking her up, taking her,
Mhm.
going, and she was in homes and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this her talking to me, so I just kind of ran with it and went from there. And as I went along, I'm like, okay, well, this is something that I kind of really enjoy. These people, they make me laugh every day.
Yes. And
So,
my father is, senior citizen,
mhm.
and I fight hard for people that are, 70s and up, because sometimes I feel like they're forgotten about, and that really grieves my heart. And it's like, or they're taken advantage of.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I always said, I even used to do this on my downtime. I would do medication runs for, like, elderly people, just because, no reason, just
Yeah, yeah,
because.
yeah,
And they depend on that so bad, and when you
yeah,
stop doing it, it's like, where are you at? Where are you
yeah,
at?
yeah, 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 yeah,
And I'm like, I was just doing it here and there because,
yeah,
life still go on. You got other things to do. But
yeah,
and then I would take them flowers or roses, and
yeah,
they look so forward to that, because usually they're just sitting home
yeah,
watching TV, doing nothing, and they gotta wait and depend on other relatives and
yeah, to
family
help them
member
out.
friends
Yeah,
to do things, and that can take forever.
yeah,
And just giving them a quality of life, that's another thing. Just having let me see how I want to say it. They're just having those now in Georgia is kind of different. There's a lot of minority based homes or senior centers.
mhm.
But that's another issue, and that's for another day.
Yeah,
But my father, kind of, we're dealing with that, just trying to have somewhere for him to go, things to do, and those programs and services that you're referring to.
yeah.
So this is an awesome thing that you're doing. I'm very glad to hear about that.
Definitely.
Okay, well, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. I do have a couple of more things. Would you like to share your contact information? It can be any social media platform, a phone number, or email. What is a way that customers could get in touch with you, or future customers can get in touch with you should, they want to speak with you?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to build a social media base. It's just a lot. you know.
Yes.
So, but they can reach me via the website. They can go to the website, they can call the home directly or my personal number. The website is allincarehomes.com. So ALLINN carehomes.com. And yeah, the phone number is 404-458-6102. Again, that's allincarehomes.com. And the phone number is 404-458-6102. Also, email Tim Orange at allincarehomes.com. Everything is just all in care homes.
Okay, that's good. That's good because that's easy for people to remember. That's just like for me, my business, Chandrella Print Shop. So Instagram, like Facebook, my website, people today, they want simple.
Simple,
So,
yeah, very
yes,
simple.
keeping it simple. Okay, so the last thing I would like to say or ask, is there anything you would like to share with the audience today?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Since this is, I guess, a entrepreneurial, motivational type of platform, or just highlighting type of platform,
Yes.
it is a task. Okay, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. It's not easy. A lot of people just look at the glitz and glam of it. Of, oh, well, I don't want to work for nobody, and that's cool. You got the right to do that, but you got to work 10 times as hard for
Sometimes
yourself.
harder.
So this, but if you have a good vision, if you have it coming from a pure intention, and you really are passionate about what you're doing, and you really can see, step by step by step what needs to be done, and you kind of see yourself taking those steps forward, go ahead and just don't look back. Doubt is the thing that kills everything. So
Yes.
you see it and you know it and you feel it in your heart, you trust God and you put your faith in, that higher power, it's always gonna manifest itself, so.
Right. And I'm so glad you mentioned that as well, because I've been in business since 2006, actually a little bit before that, but I got my license and did everything the legit way since 2006. And I kept God at the forefront of it all and been very successful my online printing business. And also I have people that I meet up with as well. So it's virtual and in person, but that is so important. And I share that with a lot of people, like keeping God first, letting him order your steps, and you will be successful. There's going to be challenges along the way, but it only come to make you stronger and better. So we appreciate you taking this Friday, taking time out to join us for the highlight. And I am definitely going to share this information with people I know in my network. And I look forward to hearing back from you on how everything is going, once you're already up and running, but as time go on, just getting some feedback to see how things are going. But if you don't have anything else for us, we're gonna go ahead and end it. And thank you and have a great one.
All right, thank you. You too.
Okay, you're welcome.